So let's begin, and welcome to our refresher webinar, January 2022. And I'm going to focus on intention. We'll talk a little bit about what we get when we get ready to meditate, or what our overall intention is. Kind of a good time of year to be thinking about that. Came across a good article on the Science of Mindfulness. I'm going to share some stuff there. And building habits. So there's a book called Atomic Habits, which I actually have not read, but I hear it's pretty good. And the author has put out a 30-day program to building strong habits. So I'm using some of his stuff to kind of help us. I think many of you who attend the refreshers have a good habit going with your mindfulness practice, but I think it's always good to look at that for anything that we want to kind of strengthen going into a new year. And so with that, Happy New Year to everybody, and hope you're all healthy. I don't know about you, but I keep hearing about more and more people who have been exposed and have gotten the recent Omicron variant. So hope you're all healthy and your families are healthy, and eventually we'll get through this. But I like this kind of this quote about the new year, the old year and the new year. So take a minute to read that for yourself. But it got me thinking about our mindfulness practice. And, as we look forward to a new year, I think, of course, all of us are saying good riddance to 2021, the same way we did with 2020. But you never know, right? And so the problem with looking ahead and really being hopeful is that we really don't know what's going to happen, right? So the advice, I guess, for our mindfulness practice is, okay, we can look ahead and have our hopes and dreams and even fears about what may happen, but we try to do that and stay in the present moment. That's the key. So as we think about things, we try not to get swept away. We try not to get into, geez, I'm worried about what should be or what should not be. But we try to just notice what's happening inside us at that time. What thoughts we're having, what feelings come up associated with those, and what's happening in our body and any body sensations. So that's just kind of just a little New Year's tip to try to stay as much as we can in the present moment. So mindful minute, let's just take a moment and pause. And so we'll just do a brief kind of a pause exercise. The one I'm going to do today is a little different. And it's just, if you just hold your hand up like this, and we're going to do this as kind of a breathing exercise. And so you just trace your hand. So as you come up the side, you breathe in. And then as you come down, you breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in and out, around to the other side. And then we go back. We go back the same way, breathing in as we trace our fingers, in and out. Okay, so that's just a quick 5-finger getting in touch with our breath, but also getting in touch with our hand. I think our hands are always a great way to kind of check in with how we're feeling. A lot of sensations in the hands and the feet. So this part of what I'm going to talk about today is coming to your senses. And so that'll be, we just did that. We sensed that tactile sense, and we're able to tune into the breath. So I just kind of want to open it up. How's it going for you? Anybody have any feedback or comments on how you're able to fit some of this in, how your practice is going formally or informally? You can either use the chat or speak up. Found any new resources or any new practices that have been helpful, or what? How's it going for you?
This is Lynette. Hey, bud.
Hi, Lynette.
I was in your class last year and I took it again. And one of the things that I've been practicing is getting in touch with nature. Being remote now and staying home. I try to make it a daily habit of getting out and walking for 55 minutes, trying to connect with nature. Even if I can't do it during the day, I even started like expanding and looking into the moon phases. I mean, it's just like a ripple effect. I'm just trying to clear my brain, like refocus, try to pull things in. So that's where I'm going with this. And hopefully I could continue to stay on track. At the end of last year, I kind of, with work, everything got caught up, and you find yourself again sandwiched into not taking care of yourself.
Excellent. I love that. And that's a good example of, it sounds like you're really intentionally trying to put that time into your day. Even, as we were talking in the beginning, it's pretty cold, and, we can still get outside. We can still take it in limited doses perhaps, but, there's a lot. I mean, when that snowstorm came through, it was beautiful, the way it stuck to the trees, just being aware of that. And if you can't get outside, just looking outside the window, or even photographs, they can essentially do the same thing. So great way to do that. I've got a few chats here. Andy says, yeah, I've tried this as well. The Getting Unstuck Challenge on 10% Happier. And it's very good. It's coming into the second week, I think, towards the end of it, but it's a good one. They continue to put out some really nice stuff on that app. So check that out. There's another one that I've started. I'll try to, there's another one that is coming up soon. It's not a challenge, but it's a summit, and they have speakers every day for 3 to 5 days, kind of a thing. So if I come across the link, I'll send that out. Stacy says, ensure to set aside time for this. Yeah, that's the key, right? I mean, if you can really carve out the time, and even if it's just a couple of minutes, that's really all it takes. Cheryl, yeah, the Healthy Minds app, that's another good reminder. I've continued to use that one myself and really, really like it. Again, that's the one that's research-based, from Richie Davidson. He's a neuropsychologist, and he focuses on 4 pillars of flourishing: awareness, insight, connection, and purpose. And there's, in the app, and it's a free app, in the app there's different lessons on each. So there's usually a brief lesson if you want to listen to it, and then a meditation. So really, really good app. Wanda says, touch base with my new buddy from yesterday's training. Yes, from our new class yesterday. Good. Stretching every day and then doing 10 minutes. Excellent. Excellent. I always find stretching in the morning, to me, to be a great way to start the day. I do a little routine. I stretch, and then I do kind of a Tai Chi 2-3 minute thing. And it's a very mindful moment, good way to start the day and kind of get the blood flowing. Adding time into the schedule, into the calendar. Yeah, put it right in the calendar, and then you get reminded. Yeah, a couple of you are doing that. Excellent. Yep. And Andy says, yeah, I know you really like that app. I paid for it as well. It's really, really great content. And it's tied into, they also have a very good podcast. And so even if you listen to the podcast, he has 3 episodes that come out every week. So it's a good resource. Okay, great. So getting back to our program here, just a mini lesson reminder about adding kindliness to ourselves and to others into mindfulness. So we come up with kindfulness as a way to think about it. But that attitude of friendliness towards ourselves is really important, because sometimes we do notice we can be hard on ourselves and give ourselves a tough time for not doing what we should be doing, or not doing it to the extent that we had planned, or we're losing focus, or whatever it is. I mean, there's so many ways that we can get down on ourselves for not taking care of ourselves, and that really just kind of makes it worse. So this idea of just remembering to be kind to yourself and gentle with yourself, and continuing to go ahead with an attitude of friendliness and curiosity, I think is the way to go. So I wanted to remind ourselves and encourage you to remind yourself, why do you do this? Why do we meditate to begin with? We know it can be relaxing, but it's really more about being awake, right? Instead of falling asleep. I think in the beginning, a lot of us tend to get sleepy perhaps during a meditation, but mindfulness is really more about being awake. And to me, that's what a good practice will help us do, to be awake in the moment. Or we can think of it as the weather analogy. So, we tune into the weather outside, what's going on. This is a great way to tune into, what's happening internally. Is it a bit stormy? Or is it sunny? Or is it cold? Or is it warm? What's going on the inside weather map? And then finally, this list, what's your intention? It's a good thing to start with sometimes, before you start a meditation, and I'll encourage you to do this before we do the first meditation today. What is it that you're hoping? Well, what's the outcome, perhaps? Think of it that way. I know we talk about not striving. Meditation is sort of non-striving. And it's not like we have to be the best meditator. It's not about really getting skillful at it, but it does help to think about what, would be helpful for us. Do we need to relax, to reset, to refresh, to refocus? Do we need some help with a stressful situation? Or do we need to gain insight? And again, the kind of meditation that we practice is really insight-oriented meditation. It helps us see the patterns of our thinking. And the second meditation we're going to do today, we're going to view some of our thoughts. Maybe it's just because we know it's good for us, and it's a good way to take care of ourselves, and that's fine in and of itself. Or this kind of balance of relaxed attentiveness. So those are just a few things to kind of prime the pumps. But also this article, I sent this out if you're in the class that I started yesterday, but also to remind you here, great article. There's the link from mindful.org, and I'll send these out to you folks afterwards. I'll send it out to the group. But the article focuses on 11 research-backed ways that mindfulness can really help. And I kind of broke them down into these 4 different areas. But the research really shows that it can help with our mood, and sometimes we get into a lousy mood, but it can really help us pay attention to that. It can help us with anxiety, depression, stress. Now, I think this comes with regular practice, right? It doesn't come right away, but it's definitely some of the areas that the research shows. It can also help with immune function. They've shown that immunity can be improved after a regular practice. Also with heart health. And they've even noticed that the brain may be protected from declines due to aging and stress. That's kind of cool, right? I mean, who wouldn't want that? It can help us with sleep. And I think that's another area where we've seen a lot of impact. I know my sleeping habits have changed since COVID, but also as I get older, I don't sleep the same as I used to. And mindfulness practice, either doing a little bit before bedtime or when we wake up in the middle of the night, can really help us get better sleep. And of course, we know that if you've tried it yourself, it just can really help with that whole coming back from distraction, increasing our mental clarity and focus. But then also with, in the workplace, with self-confidence and leadership, other areas that the research really shows it can really help improve our own functioning. So there's the link if you want to look into that further. Pretty good article, but I just kind of give you a quick summary. But as we look at this quote, we'll move into our first meditation. And the quote, I'll read it to you. Any moment can be a mindful moment when you give your full attention to your senses. Observe the details of your environment visually. Feel the sun on your skin or the wind in your hair. Take in the scents around you. Bringing in the aliveness will quiet the mental noise and leave you refreshed. So today's first meditation is going to be focused on, it's actually based on the work of Jack Kornfield, and it's called Coming to Your Senses. So let's begin. So take a position that's comfortable, relaxed, balanced. You might want to take a moment to stretch a little bit and get the body into a good place. And gently close your eyes, or you can keep them slightly open if you prefer. And let's take 3 nice, long, deep breaths. Breathing in, filling the lungs. Breathing out, letting all the air back out. Breathing in, feeling the fresh air. Feel the breath all the way to the belly. And breathing out, again, releasing and relaxing. One more time, breathing in deep, sense of rising. And breathing out, sense of releasing and relaxing. And then just let the breath be natural and easy. And see if you can let go of any tension that might be present. Now feel the weight of your body on the chair where you're sitting. Notice the feeling of pressure or warmth where your bottom contacts the seat. Feel the other places of contact where your body connects with the ground, the chair. Feel your hands resting in your lap or on your legs. Be aware of your feet contacting the floor. Let yourself be aware also of the feeling of your clothing as it touches your skin and as the air touches your face. We're opening our senses and keeping your eyes closed, but let your awareness take in the play of images and light at the eyelids. You might notice a flickering of light and dark or shapes. Now take a moment to attend to noticing with relaxed, receptive awareness. Feel your breath and sense the space around you. And be receptive to any scents that might be in the air. Just discover what it's like to smell and receive odors that are present. Now let your awareness open to any sounds around you. Receive the symphony of sounds and let them wash through you. not just with your ears, but with your whole awareness. You might notice the space between sounds. Now, with the same receptivity, come back to sense the sensations and aliveness in your body. Bring your awareness to your hands, feeling any sensations there. Inside the soles of your feet, inside your chest and head. Invite your awareness to fill your whole body and sense your physical form as a field of sensations. There may be tingling or vibration, heat or cool, hard or soft, tight or flowing. And now let all your senses be wide open together. Your body and mind relaxed and receptive, allowing life to flow freely through you, sensing your moment-to-moment experience, present to what is here and now. And as we begin to come to the end of this meditation, let's practice with awakening our senses, knowing that we can bring this same alert, open awareness to whatever we're going to do next. We can pause at work, we can be aware of sounds and sensations, and the life of the senses brings us to be fully present. And so when you're ready, maybe be aware of your feet on the floor again, your body in the chair, and slowly opening the eyes as we finish that first meditation. Okay, any thoughts or comments or reactions to that? I hope you found it nice and relaxing, but as a good way to be connected. As he says, kind of as a homework, next time you become aware that you're feeling stressed, become curious about your physical and sensory experience and scanning your body for information. You might feel hot with anger or tingling with excitement, clenched with anxiety, or flushed with success. Check for temperature, tension, vibration, and simply name them. For example, my shoulders are tense, or I have a knot in my stomach. And once you've clearly identified the stress reaction, breathe into that experience for 3 deep breaths, and then ask, what do I need right now? And just perform all this with curiosity and be open-minded. All right, so a couple of nice comments here. Thank you. Helps with insomnia, yes. Lessons, oh, the lessons tinnitus. Ah, okay. Wonderful, very relaxing, good. Very relaxing, just thinking of doing this before going to bed. Yeah, that would be a good one to do before bed. I think any kind of body scan can be helpful before bedtime, so give it a try. All right, so moving on, just more here, a few more quick pauses. This is from the New York Times, one of their columns called Well. And first one is they call them exercise snacks. So just a quick way, instead of feeling like we have to do a full workout of an hour or more, or something like that, just quick breaks to stretch, to move, to get the blood flowing, maybe fast walking or going up a flight of stairs or something like that. Taking a gratitude photo. So when we notice something pleasant, something that we're grateful about, take a photo of it to kind of capture it, share it with somebody. And there's the 5-finger meditation that we did at the beginning. That's where I got that from. And here's this kind of a cool thing. Watch the jellyfish. This link will take you to the Monterey Bay Aquarium, and you can watch the jellyfish live, just floating around the aquarium. It's kind of cool and mesmerizing. I looked it up this morning about 7:30, and it wasn't live. So apparently they do it 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., but that's Pacific time. So it doesn't come on until about 10 Eastern time, but check that link out. It's kind of interesting. So here's a healthy habit tip number 1. This is from James Clear, Atomic Habits. Many people think they lack motivation. What they really lack is clarity. So he suggests using this simple sentence: I will do whatever behavior at a certain time in a certain location. So here's an example. If you're trying to eat better or stretch, I will make a green smoothie at 7 a.m. in my kitchen. And here's a couple of meditation related ones. So be specific. When are you going to meditate? Where are you going to do it? What's it connected to? And try the informal practice in the same way. You might say, I'm going to do informal practice of brushing my teeth in the morning and really paying attention to the brushing of the teeth, or to the laundry, or to, whatever it is, that informal practice that I hope you might consider doing, continue to do. And then another one is the 2-minute rule. So the 2-minute rule is simply that we, there's the days that we're busiest when we don't have any time to do a meditation. Those are probably the days that we really need to do it, right? So just see if you can even just do 2 minutes. I mean, who doesn't have 2 minutes when you think about it? You don't need to do a formal exercise to listen to. You don't need to pull up a meditation specifically. Just feel into your body. Just notice your feet on the floor, your body in the chair or standing, wherever you are. Tune into those senses. Feel your breath. Maybe take a few deep breaths. And that's all it takes. And you might find just by taking the 2 minutes that maybe you expand it to 5 minutes or more. But even 2 minutes is going to help. So kind of sprinkle those into your day. And just checking in with yourself as you do that. Okay, so let's see. Next, I'm going to try to give you a little bit of warmth with this photo. This is down in Florida. I was down there in October, and this is actually sunrise in Daytona, or not Daytona, but south of there, New Smyrna Beach. And so let's do a meditation. This next meditation will focus a little bit more on our mental activity and on our thoughts and what's kind of going on up there, okay? And the instruction, as you'll see, will be kind of like noticing thoughts come and go, but also maybe noticing particular types of thoughts and patterns of our thinking. And this is kind of where some of the insight can come in. Also talk a little bit about distraction. And distraction can be a very common thing for us these days. And we know that with regular practice, it really helps us decrease distractibility. But even in a meditation, sometimes our minds can be very easily distracted. Sitting quietly and kind of doing nothing on purpose, sometimes that opens up the door for lots to go on. So we'll kind of pay attention to that during this meditation. Okay, so again, find a way to sit comfortably in a way that you can be undisturbed and balanced. Again, if you want to stretch a little bit before we get started, if there's any tension, if you want to stretch your shoulders out or whatever it might be. Let the jaw be loose and relaxed. And we'll begin again with 3 nice long deep breaths. And I'll just let you do that on your own, so that you can really tune into each breath. All right, very good. And then just let your breath resume to its natural rhythm. And let's sense into the body again. So just simply notice the body sitting here. Notice what it's like to be still. Feel your feet on the floor, your body in the chair. You might try bringing a half smile of kindness to your face to kind of reinforce that idea of being gentle and kind to ourselves. And you can feel it kind of sends your nervous system a signal of warmth and friendliness when we smile to ourselves. And let that spread down through your shoulders into your chest and heart area. And just breathe naturally and easily as we focus on the heart area. Then into the belly, pelvic area, down into the legs, all the way down to the feet, feeling that sense of connection again. Allowing the whole body to relax. And sensing the whole body. Being aware of the whole body sitting here, breathing naturally and easily, and just resting on the waves of this body awareness and of your breathing in the body. So as we've gathered our attention and allowed our body to settle, let's just notice any thoughts that are here. I'm going to give you some silence and just be aware of thoughts coming and going in your mind. And try to just notice them with kind of a neutral, impartial, almost with the way of a scientist. Just noticing and observing thoughts, stepping back from them. Okay, so just give you some space and silence here now. You might notice some thoughts are more compelling and some hijack our attention. And that's okay if it happens, even if you get lost in a train of thoughts. Noticing where that train went off to. Noticing what the associations were. That's where some of the insight can come in, is noticing our pattern of thinking. Noticing some thoughts that are kind of sticky thoughts or our top 10 thoughts. But seeing also if we can just let thoughts come and go as simple mental events, arising, hanging around for a bit sometimes, and then dissolving. You can imagine them like clouds on the open sky of your awareness, drifting into awareness, drifting across your sky, and then slowly drifting away. You might also notice sometimes thinking connects us to our emotions. Sometimes it brings up a stressful situation or some difficulty. And see if you can just be aware of that. We don't have to change anything or fix anything. Just notice. Even if it is something stressful or something that arises that kind of tugs or reminds you of a struggle of something, just see if you can observe what's going on in your mind when that happens, and try not to judge it. Try to notice any judgments or opinions or commentary that arise. And let that also pass through your open sky of awareness. You might see if you can notice where you feel it in the body. If there's a strong energy or a strong thought or something stressful, see if you can pay attention to where it shows up in the body. Maybe in the chest, or the shoulders, or the belly or jaw. Just notice. We're just simply allowing it to be as it is, without pushing it away, without needing to fix anything, just accepting it and allowing it. And maybe even recognizing it's the body's natural response to something that we care about, something that's important to us. And perhaps it's the body's way or the mind's way of helping us prepare and meet the challenge. And if we can sit with it a bit, perhaps it can give us some insight as to what is the next best thing for us to do. Not now in the meditation, but later. And of course, anytime you wish, you can come back to your breathing or to your body as a stabilizer. Feel the breath, maybe take a deep breath if that helps. Let the body re-relax if that helps. Be grounded through your feet if that helps. And before we close, I'll invite you to think of something that you're grateful for. Just one thing, one person, one situation that you're grateful for. And allow yourself to just tune into that for a moment. Let it sink in. Spend some time with it. Why are you grateful for this thing or this person? Flesh it out a little bit. Okay, very good. And so again, coming back to your breath, Maybe taking another last deep breath as we come to a close. When you're ready, opening your eyes. And we'll finish that last meditation. Trying to come up with a sound. I've tried this, but it doesn't come across very good on the Zoom. Just listen. Okay, so thank you again for your practice. Thanks for joining me on today's refresher. Any last comments or thoughts?
This is Shemaine from CPBS. I really want to just reach out and say we really appreciate this from you. It's really great. It's awesome and needed at this time. So you are appreciated, but thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, Shemaine, for saying that. It's really nice to hear that, believe me. And you know, you're right. We're all going through difficult times, right? And so thank you all for being here. If it weren't for you to tune in, I'd had nobody to do this with. So I really appreciate all your comments. I see them on the chat. Thanks all for being here. And you'll see this last quote by the Buddha. The secret of health for both mind and body is not to mourn for the past, nor worry about the future, but to live the present moment wisely and earnestly. And of course, as you know, I'm not trying to teach Buddhism. These are all secular classes, but I think you also know that mindfulness and all this came from many centuries originating with the Buddha. So leave you with that thought. And again, thanks for your time and really appreciate you being here. Had a nice crowd today, and stay warm, be well, and wishing you all the best in 2022.
Thank you, Bud.
Thanks, Bud.